Did you know that we spend our lives to fail forward? What do I mean by that? Well, failing forward means that you are trying something, you're doing something, maybe for the first time, the 10th time, and you fail. But every time you do, you're learning something new, you modify what you're doing, and then you're moving forward. So many of us sometimes are wondering, okay, how can we get better? We get better by doing what we want to do, what we need to do. But people say, well, I want to succeed, but I don't want to fail. I want to be able to make it. But you know what? You cannot really make it without doing it, doing what you need to do. Now, just the fact that you're doing something will most likely bring some successes, but also bring some failures. And that's why I'm saying that failures are part of success. Think about our lifetime. What do we mean by a failing forward? Well, let's take some easy examples. In the kitchen, when we're cooking a meal, most of the time it is amazing. But try to remember the first time or the first few times you did the dish you are enjoying. Sometimes you did it right, sometimes it was not very good, but you got better. That's what I mean by failing forward. You got better at cooking, at the recipes, and therefore, nowadays, your meals are amazing. Some of you are cycling, some of you are swimming, some of you are playing different sports, dancing, basketball. That again, every time we are trying to do something, there's a chance that we will succeed, but there's a chance we will fail. Now, if we always succeed, the beauty of that is that sometimes people say, oh, the person has talent, and therefore we need to reward that. The issue, though, with someone who is always succeeding is that they're spending their lifetime with their talents and they're staying at a standstill. They're not evolving and getting better because they are taking advantage of their talents. So what does that mean if you don't have talents? Well, think about that. Someone who has a bit of talent or none, but decide to work every day a little bit to try to get better, to practice, to do great, to do terrible. But every time they do something that is not the best, they're learning from it and getting better. That is a person that will overthrow everybody that has talent. And the reason for that is someone that has talent, sometimes they will just shine. But if they don't work on their talent, they are not growing. So if you think, so I work in a high school, and if you think of a student learning a new language, doing sports, experimenting in science, if you are good at it and you are not doing more than just enjoying your successes, it works for a while. But what happened is you have around you other people that have worked hard but failed, learn new tricks, and step a bit forward. And the more you practice, the more you do that, the more you will actually uh, become amazing. Now, to be amazing, for some, it takes a little time. If you have talent, it takes a few times. For people that don't have talent at all, it might take 10, 15, 100 times to get better. So that means that how much time do you want to spend on trying to be better? Well, that's a good question. It all depends how you feel what you want to do is important to you. So if you look at the individuals, especially with pastime, if you have a pastime playing basketball, painting, drawing, you are making videos like this one here, or you are writing poems, short stories, you are building computers, you are coding, all these activities that you do for fun makes you better every time you do it. So that means that if you keep doing it and you have fun with it, you are getting great. And this is how many of us sometimes we go in the workforce, having a portfolio works well. Some people sometimes say, well, if you are an artist, you have a portfolio, that's a great thing. That's true. But nowadays, with the technologies, with the video capabilities we have with phones and so on, everybody can create a content to show what they can do. So I do believe that in the real world, if you want to show others what you can do, is to document your journey. So some people on TikTok, they show what they do. Some people will show their failures, but it's all part of documenting their journey. So think about that. You want someone to help you with coding. You want someone to help you with coaching. You want someone to help you with the science, for example. Well, if you see someone that is working hard, getting results, and doing great, you will want to learn from them. If for some reason you see someone who has talents, a natural talent, they may not be able to help you. And the reason for that is that they have so much talent that they never had to explain how they're doing things. They never had to explain how to do something. It was just part of what they knew. And therefore, when you are looking for someone to help you, look at people that have worked hard, that they understand. They can have talent, but also look at a variety of people to show you their journey. And that's what's the beauty of social medias right now. We have so many people sharing their journeys. I'm sharing my journey right now, and you can learn from all of them and see who works well with your point of view. And from them, look at their tricks and expand. To look for examples on how practicing makes people better, think of a basketball player. Think of someone who does coding, someone who's doing an artist painting. The more they do a painting or they play basketball, the better they get. And the funny enough is the more they play, the better they get. If you're a dancer, that's the same thing. The more you practice, the better you are. But the more you do it, the better you get. So what does that mean? That means that there are some individuals doing what they love, and they love, let's say, basketball. And so they play basketball. But just by playing, they get better. And by getting better, they're over going above and beyond everybody around them. And that's how you get people that are excellent. So the best thing is for you when you are looking at employment, when you're looking at something to do, look for an activity that you're good at and that you love. And what happens is if you are good at something, you have some rewards, confidence is there. But the more you will do it, the better you get. For example, I love teaching. And interestingly enough, teaching is not the easiest. But the more I teach, the better I get. And the better I get, the more I enjoy teaching. And the more I feel I can do a better job. Do I do the best job every day? Far from that. And the reason is we have new students, we have situations coming all the time. Sometimes my brain, it just shuts down and there's a big blank, and then I have to give everybody a few minute break. So what happened is we are all learning together and growing together. I have students that are focusing on what they have to do. There's some people that have talent and they're just doing less. There's some people that have talent and working very hard. So what happens is I know that some students, by the fact that they're working very hard, will get much better at some point. Much better at some point, because if they keep in mind that if they practice, they get better. If they fail, they decide, okay, I failed. What can I learn from that situation? Learn the lesson, apply what they've learned to what they're doing, and move forward. That makes all the difference. So my word of the day is failing forward. So that means that if you are failing forward, the whole idea is how long does it take for you to get up, to move forward. Sometimes, so if you take, for example, a little baby learning to walk, some of them will take a few steps, fall down, and then get up right away and do a few more steps and fall down. And eventually they get it. If someone is learning to do bicycle, doing basketball, playing with the basketball with the hoop, same thing. You are trying, you're doing it, and you're certainly failing it. But what happens is if you fail, you readjust and you move forward. So in life, I think that's the key thing here. We're all failures in some ways, but none of us has moved forward without any failures. So we need to somehow embrace failure. Embrace it, because every time something happens, you fail, you're learning a few more things, you reassess, and then you move forward again. I love it. It's like a cycle. The more you do, the more you can succeed and the more you can fail. Regardless, both situation can help you learn. Both situation can help you get better. And guess what? We're all here to make the world a better place. So on this, I'm gonna put it here on this side, right here, a link to our playlist for all this journey we're doing on how to have a better year. And I can't wait to see you there.